And so we meet again. Hello, guys. Hello, ladies. Hello, everyone. Party over here, party over there, party over there. I don't know. Don't take me to a party, guys, because I will embarrass you. And it's not that I want to. It's just that I don't know what to do with myself. I really don't. It's just I'm so socially awkward. I'm socially awkward. I know, Zealage. I don't need. First of all, I don't need you to tell me that because I think I already got it. I think I already know that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, Ryan. Hello, boy. Hi, Lasco. Hi, Troy. Troy, you have been coming like every stream now. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming like so many times. Hello, Super Sukabelet. Hello, Sukabelet. Hello, Samuel. Hello, Lawrence. Hello, Service. Hi, guys. Oh, hi, Dex. Hi, Dex. Welcome in. Hi, Jacob. So I want us to get started. Look, enough of the formalities, right? I want us to get started because this is a very random stream that I'm doing. But why not, right? Why not? I actually missed you guys. So, you guys ready? I want to talk about women. I want to talk about the women's. I want to talk about the ladies, the girls, or as transsexuals call us, the uterus havers, the chest feeders, the fish fries. Because, if you guys don't know, there has been a lot of argument recently about some nonsense that this transsexual was saying that, here, I won't say it, I will show it to you, and then we have a conversation about it. Tamam? Deal? Alright. Bonus hole havers. There you go. Does anybody have any other high netter? Your hair looks so great, Jealous. Really? Thank you. I appreciate that. So I got a keratin treatment in my hair that makes my hair like smoother, right? And it didn't work. Yeah. $200 to get a keratin treatment and it didn't work. The moment that I washed my hair again, it got frizzy. So I ended up just curling it. But then every time I curl it, Larry says that I'm cultural appropriationing, that I'm doing a cultural appropriation for his people. Larry says that I'm trying to look black every time I do my hair like this. And it's like, I didn't do my hair like this to try to look black. It's because my natural hair, my hair is straight, but it's not like straight, like silky straight. I don't have, Arabs, we typically don't have silky hair. We're not like Asian, like, we're not like East Asians or Indians. We don't have silk hair. We have straight hair that's fluffy. That's how we have it. Our hair is straight, but fluffy. And that's how my natural hair is. And when I get my keratin done, you guys see how luxurious it usually is. But my keratin didn't work. So when I got out of the shower, I blow dried my hair and I was like Afro king, Afro queen. So I was like, all right, I'll just curl it. But the moment I do that, Larry is like, cultural appropriation. Stop trying to be black. Okay, Larry. Okay. Right. Poofy. Right. I like that American word. Is that American or is it, anyway, I like that word in English, poofy. It's like, what is a poof? I don't know. Anyway, Service says nappy hair. Nappy, when I first learned the word for nappy, it was confusing because, like you guys know, I learned English from a old British posh lady. A very old, posh rich British lady taught me English. That's how I learned English. That's why my accent is so screwed up. But when she would say the word nappy, she would use that for a diaper, for a child's diaper. They called a diaper a nappy. So for a while, I wasn't understanding what people were saying when they were saying a person has a nappy hair. I'm like, nappy hair, like pubic hair? That's what I was thinking. I was like, pubic hair? What? A nappy hair? That's what I thought that they were referring to, like diaper, like growing area, pelvic area. I know this is kind of vulgar, I'm sorry. But for the longest, I was like, what is a nappy hair? Is that like pubic hair, like growing hair? What are you guys talking about? And I figured it out later. People were saying that it means that it's the really dry, kinky hair. That's nappy hair. So yeah. E Black is here. Hi, E Black. How it do? What it do, homie? I want to put the link in the chat for E Black. Oh my God. E Black, if you have a moment, just come in and say hi if you want to. If you guys don't know who E Black is, E Black, he has some controversy on his channel that is amazing, and I love it. I love the drama. I love it. So I'll put the link if E Black wants to come say hi to us for a little bit. I would love that. And also, E Black knows a lot about the issues that the West is having with women. He knows a lot about that too. This is a very random stream, guys. This is super random. Zealot says diaper hair. Right. So I didn't like for the longest, I didn't know what it meant. I was like, nappy. But now I figured it out and now I get it. So really? Samuel says, I tend to think of the black market baby farms in Europe and Asia. When you're talking about what, nappy? What? But he says, hair is more trouble to deal with than it's worth to me. Well, you're a guy. It's different. For guys, it doesn't matter. For women, our hair is like everything. Did you know? Did you know there was this man who was saying that for a woman, like, men are attracted to women with long hair. The person said, why is it that the majority of men are attracted to women with long hair? He said the reason why is because long hair typically signifies youth. And I don't know how that's true, because I'm like, youth, okay. But they said long hair signifies youth, health. Like a woman who has long hair is typically of good health, because it takes good health to produce hair, of course, and that she's usually fertile. For some reason, they say that a woman with long hair is most likely fertile, and I think that's associated with the whole health aspect, if you know what I mean. So E Black is here. Hello, E Black. How are you?
What's going on, Amira? What are you doing today? Did I catch the wrong night? Let me know right now.
You know what, E Black? Every night is the wrong night over here. You already
Yeah,
know
I
how.
know.
Yeah, you already know how I'm seen around the internet, so I
Yeah,
haven't changed. I haven't changed. Same
I
old
know.
Amira, it's a different day.
I know you haven't changed, and I know your opinion is definitely yours. The one reason why, like I've always messed with you is because you're honest about your opinion, and you're willing to stand on it. So it's like, if I don't agree, argue it.
Argue with me. Thank you. Argue with me. Don't just insult me. Argue with me about it. And I appreciate that, because me and you have that in arguments before. And I'd rather have someone who argue with me than to just automatically start insulting.
Yeah, and like I said, there's certain like remember when we did our revolution versus revolution
Evolution.
we did that discussion, and I knew what you was gonna say because I was like, y'all think she gonna say one thing, and she's more on y'all side than y'all think. So I mean, and this is the one thing in this space that I get, people want to put you in a box to where it's like, okay, if you have an issue with somebody, bring it up on a panel, talk about it. The one thing I love about JR, use less emotions and more facts. So, like I said, anybody who, even though I don't agree with 90% of what you say, Amir, let me be real. I don't agree with you. I respect you because you're willing to back it up. And I'd rather put you in a position in which you're able to back it up than just to sit there and say, "Oh, I hate her." That's goofy to me.
But the reason why I say things is that I have a reason for saying them. I'm not saying them because I heard someone else say it, or I'm following the ideology of someone. When I say something, is because I have personal experience or personal knowledge of why I believe it. And you too. This is why me and you have gotten into, oh my God, if you guys don't know in the chat, me and E Black has known me about 3 years now, I believe. And E Black, we met on the Lapeef network. That's back when I was doing I was more active on that channel.
Yes.
Guys, E Black would come up as a guest on that channel, and he would call in at the end of our shows, and straight away he'd start referencing things that I said, and I always thought he hated me for a while until we would start arguing, and then we realized we actually respect each other. It's just
Yeah.
we don't agree, and that's okay.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where I think one of the things that we were talking about was like the New Deal. And you brought up the point that did politicians actually switch on the New Deal? And then you said no. I was like, what? And then I had to think about it. I was like, well, technically no. And it's one of those things where it's like, I'm okay with having the discussion. It's always about the discussion. It's always about bringing up facts. Can your facts beat my facts? Can your argument beat my argument? And so when I look at America, yeah, I don't agree with 90%, and that's a high number. but at
I
the
think you're
same,
lying though. I think that's not true. I think you're exaggerating because honestly, I disagree with that, but I think the things that you don't agree with me on are very high things. Does that make sense? Like the things you disagree with me on are very important things. But I don't think it's 90%. I think you agree with me on a lot more things than that.
yeah, I don't think that I don't think you're wrong on 90% of things. I just think I don't agree with 90%. So there's a big difference between saying, "Hey, I don't agree with you, but I don't think you're also wrong. You may have your perspective, and that's fine." And I think that's the problem with, like, say, the space is that you cannot disagree with somebody. You cannot feel the same way about somebody, but bring it to the table, organize it. And if you're not built for it, just say that you're not built for it, but don't use hate and slander to back up your point. And
Abe,
that's
like how many people have you seen, especially as you've been online,
yeah,
how many people have you seen that once their ideology or once their views are challenged, that they get emotional? You see people start breaking down crying. You see people start insulting. You've seen people just turn off their cameras and run away from full on streams. And
yeah.
it's like, you're not ready for that type of world. What's they say? You don't know something until you're able to teach it, right? Until you're able to teach something, that's when you know you actually know something. I want to ask you a question since you're here. This show is about, this is a very random show, E Black. I didn't even tell my pride that I was doing this tonight. I just got the idea to do it, but I just want to talk about it. There was this woman, this trans, I'm sorry, it's not a woman. Let me take that back. There was a man in a dress. A man in a dress was going around and saying that women are not the holders of womanhood. Or here, I'm going to pull it up for a second. Do you mind?
Yeah. Hey, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to share the screen with you so you can check it out too, because I need to show the pride this as well and see what they say about this. Here we go. Here is this man in a wig and makeup. You know, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it doesn't make it beautiful. Like I said, I mean, sorry, this is the way I feel, E Black, and you might disagree with me again. But I'm not for this nonsense crap. I'm not for the LGBTQIA plus pedophiles plus everything sick. I'm not for that. So let's hear what he has to say.
When the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you. So, y'all,
Okay, so this man, you heard what he said, right?
Yeah.
You heard what he said, and he
Yes.
said it with his full chest, I guess you could say, as we all say. He's saying that women, just because you have periods, does not mean that you own womanhood. Just because you have periods doesn't mean that you own periods. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah. This argument is really dumb because like even me as a liberal, I know you hate to hear that, but even me, I recognize there are two genders. There's male and female. I, in my opinion, this is really resolving or revolving around femininity. Now, this is a conversation I've yet to really kind of hash out, but what I think is happening is that femininity is being separated from womanhood. Now, women want, now I will say this, women want to be able to say, hey, if I want to be in a masculine role, I should be able to do that. Now, what is the masculine role? These are the hardships of society. These are the things in which, you know, gender roles. Let's just sum it up as gender roles.
Okay.
Uh, Femininity is, in a way, you can consider a gender role, but womanhood you cannot deny.
I see. I see what you're saying because femininity is an expression, kind of like a gender expression, while womanhood is the biological fact.
Yes.
Um, but I want to bring up something with you. Now, I want to hear if you disagree or agree. Uh, they keep on saying that there's only two sexes. They agree, the people on the left, they agree that there's two sexes. But what they say is that genders, there's many. There's many genders and there's more genders than there are sexes. Now, I want to say this to you. Gender comes from your sex. So there cannot be more than two genders if there's only two sexes. The reason I say this is because your gender is an expression of your sex. If there's only two sexes, then there's no other type of expression. Does that make sense?
E- I- the one thing I would say is that even the most masculine female can still get pregnant. So it's still two.
Exactly. That's what I say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So even the studs, the women who dress up like men, no matter what they say, they're still biologically tied to a gender role. And that's what I believe in. Like no matter what, yeah. Now if you want to argue gender roles in terms of uh who pays the bill, who
Hmm.
who's able to take care of the household, who's the protector, the provider, yeah, these are gender roles. But like biological roles are not really that difficult to argue. These are really, I mean, let's be real, they're binary, they're either one or zero. you
So
know
what is it? So what is it that you? Because see, you're agreeing with me.
yes.
So what is it that you would disagree with me on? Because if you agree with me on that, you would probably agree with me on a majority of the things that I say. Because most of the things that I say are common sense.
I would say one thing that I would say is that it's much of an issue that it is. I don't think it's much of an issue. These are small groups and pockets of people who have, the internet to kind of coagulate and come together and share their opinion and create diverse organizations. But in terms of average middle America, even regular American people, I come from the liberalists of the liberalists. So I even there we don't have conversations about transgender people.
Right.
So I mean, when you talk, I just think, like I said, this is more or less follow the money. Where is the outrage? How does that generate more profit for whomever, and who's in power?
Well, E Black. So the like I said, the stream today is about women and Western women, and I want to tell you, I have a
Mhm.
lot to say. Like after me and you hang up, I have a lot to say, and I don't. You might want to call back after because I
Yeah,
might
yeah. I'm
disagree.
not I'm not
But
fucking with you on that.
E
Look, I
Black,
fuck with you, but I don't fuck with you.
E Black, wait. Wait, so what I'm saying, oh my God, you make me so shy. E Black, wait. So listen, I what I want to say is that oh, you got me stuttering. So the situation is that Western women, I have my views on them because I'm Eastern and I come from a different flock. I come from a different group of peoples. We see things a lot differently. And did you hear about that woman who got arrested in Dubai? A black woman.
Yes, yes, yes.
So this is kind of like one of the things that I spoke about as kind of not an example, but it's like I guess you could say prime example. Yeah, prime example. It's a prime example of the nonsense culture of women that we have here in the United States, taking itself beyond the borders of the U.S., going to the Middle East,
Hmm.
and epping around and finding out. Right. So go ahead.
I I would like to. There's actually a thing that I wanted to talk about but I couldn't talk about it because I've never actually been to Dubai, or I've never been across the country. I'll just be real with you. I'm stateside.
Wow.
I've been from every coast. I've swam in the Atlantic Ocean. I've swam in the Pacific Ocean. I've swam in the Gulf. So I'm an
Mhm.
American to his born. Um,
Mhm.
but I have a lot of friends who have been across in Africa. One of the friends who's a woman, she actually got married to a guy in Nigeria. I think one of
Oh gosh.
Lagos.
Good luck.
So, I mean, on the topic of Western women or women from the West going and meeting into the more traditional society, I mean, I definitely think there's a conversation there because she came back because they were kind of going through a back and forth. Well, I don't want to say a back and forth. Her, she's
Get
still,
it.
she's
Get
still
it
an,
out.
she's still an American woman,
Okay.
but his family, the guy's family, is still traditional, so they have to go through rituals, you know,
Ceremonies. Hmm.
ceremonies, a lot of the things. So she was kind of going back and forth, and when she would come back and she would discuss, situations that, the women around him, aunties, cousins, family members, friends, hey, you're gonna have to change your behavior. She was a down south woman that was, used to or accustomed to, drinking when she wanted to. They were telling her, hey, you can't drink as much as you want to.
Hmm.
She was like, oh, wait. you know, speaking up.
Well, if like I want to tell you something about that. A lot of women, the pushback is that why the feminists, what they'll say is, why is it that women always have to change their behavior, but men never do? Why is it that women are always held accountable for their behavior, and women are always judged for their behavior, but men are not? This is what the feminists typically say in regards to why they're so adamant of, fighting for the rights and fighting for this and fighting for that, because they believe that it is unfair that women are always expected to mold to the culture. Women are always expected to submit, or always expected to bow down or kneel whenever there's any type of demands made of them, but men are not.
And you gotta forgive me. I'm trying to search for the video. Austin Holloman actually made the video.
I cannot. No, no, no. E Black, do you not know what happened with me and the passport bros? Do not do. You don't know what
But
happened.
it proves your point. It proves your point. It proves your point. Austin
You're gonna
Holloman.
get me in trouble, E Black.
I
You're
know,
gonna
I
get me
know,
in
I know.
trouble.
But
I don't have friends on. I don't have friends on the internet. In case you didn't know, I don't have friends. You
yes, you're
can't bring
not
up
very.
any. You can't bring up any people on my channel because most people hate me on the line online. So please.
So let me just summarize it because it was exactly what he was talking about. He was talking about how Western women cannot come, or African American women cannot come to South Africa with their ways. They're going to learn immediately the difference.
Nina.
They're going to run into traditional men who want traditional values, and
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a culture shock.
And Nigerian men will not fold. They will
No,
not bow down. They
no.
will not.
And I'm trying to find the video. I'm surprised it's not on my history. It was actually a short that just randomly popped up. So if I find it, I'll email it to you. But
Okay.
it's exactly what you're arguing is that when once the Western women get put into the traditional role, they're gonna have pushback because they're not having the freedoms. And I've seen it in real time. I've literally seen it in real time. I'm sitting there asking her. Now, mind you, at this time I'm a YouTuber, so yeah, I'm definitely trying to figure out what's going on. She has a unique experience because she's a woman from America going to Africa. I'm trying to
Did
figure
she
it out.
did she survive the marriage, E Black?
Uh, Sadly, she passed away about a couple of months ago. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was all for it. She got married. She liked the guy. The guy loved her.
Oh,
You
so she
know,
stuck it out.
she stuck it out. I mean, but I mean, there's a lot of backstory that, like I said, that I don't want to divulge because sensitivity to the family. But
Mm,
yeah. But overall, when she said she was out there, she was taken care of in a way that the men out here, what she said was the men out here didn't take care of her. But at the same time, she had restrictions on the way that she was acting that
mm.
she still had issues with, but she was kind of okay with it.
Well, there's nothing that's free in this world. You must
Yeah.
give something to get something in return, and that's what a lot of women are not. And I'm gonna speak about this, E Black.
hmm
E Black, thank you so much, guys. Check out E Black's channel. E Black, what is your channel name right now?
It is E Black TV. If you want to find me, either type in E Black or E Black TV, all one word. If you try to E Black space TV, it ain't gonna find me. I didn't realize that YouTube,
Why?
because YouTube tries to match me with Black TV, and that's just,
Mm,
I'm not famous enough for that. Yeah.
okay,
I'm
I
just,
got it.
I'm not famous for Black TV, so if it thinks that I'm, so if you want to find me, E Black or E Black TV podcast. Um, but Amira, I actually do have a podcast that I wanted to. I'm trying to get the other people to kind of get together, but I do have one. It's about marriage.
Okay. I always love to talk about marriage and how women don't deserve crap in divorce. Okay, but go ahead. Let me know. You have my email. Just email me whenever you're ready.
All right, take care.
All right. Thank you so much, E Black.
Bye.
Guys, check out E Black's channel. He is great. Thank you so much, Samuel, for posting his link. Samuel has posted the link graciously for E Black. Thank you so much. And it was such a good surprise to see E Black coming. Now, guys, you guys know today's stream was not planned at all, but I figured that we would go ahead and have a conversation today. Why not? Why not? Midweek, let's do it. Here we go. Thank you, Dex, for subbing to him. Thank you so much. Nina says, Nina, that's Carrie. Carrie says, I can talk about divorce. No, you can't, Carrie. You stay in the corner, Carrie. Please do not. Nina says 100%. Thank you. Dex says, it depends on why you're traveling, to be honest. So, you guys probably don't know this because a lot of you don't know the other platforms that I go on and get in trouble over. But yeah, I got in trouble with the passport bros a while back, and yeah, this is the reason why I can't have certain names on my channel anymore. Oh man. Nina says, keep getting arrested in Dubai. They'll eventually learn. Nina. Nina. Can we talk? Can we talk? Amira hated on men who like to travel. Oh, stop. Oh my gosh. Don't make me rant right now. I don't want to rant. Here we go. Let's talk. So I want us to get back to the conversation. Women, Western women in general. As you guys saw, there was that man in a dress talking about how women do not own womanhood. That women, just because you have periods and experience periods, I want to play it one more time because I want to hear it one more time. I want to hear the nonsense one more again, and then I will get to what we're gonna say.
I'm gonna show y'all.
Here we go.
This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you.
Okay, so uh, this man in a dress who is trying to present himself to the world as one of us, he believes that if he emulates what he thinks womanhood or femininity, what it looks like, he thinks if I can look like what I think it looks like, then I can fool the world into thinking I'm a woman. And not only fool the world into thinking that I'm a woman, but fool the world into thinking that womanhood doesn't really exist. It's just a figment of women's imagination. Just like his stick and balls are a figment of all of our imaginations. Just like that. Womanhood doesn't exist, just like his balls that are hanging between his legs don't exist either. That's exactly what it is. The misogyny is rampant. And usually I like a little misogyny in my coffee cup in the morning. I like it a little bit, you know. I do like the misogyny. I like to be, but in this case, this is a man telling women, right? What did this man say? He said, with all his Adam apple dancing in his throat while he was saying it, the Adam apple just going up and down as he's speaking. He said, women, just because you experience a period does not mean that you own womanhood or that you own periods for that matter. He said, yes, you have periods, but all the other women have them too, and they're different for every individual woman. First, no, it's not. It's not individual at all. It's not something that's different for every woman. It is not a snowflake situation. You see how easy it is to break it down? If you are a woman, you will bleed after a certain age. That is how that works. If you are a man, you will get an Adam's apple after a certain age. You will get a deeper voice after a certain age. We're not going to go into biology. But him saying that it's individual for every woman, no, it's not, because women all bleed. There's nothing individual about that. So, anyway, this man is an example of what I wanted to speak to you all about. You guys understand that I'm a homophobe, right? You guys understand that. You guys understand that I'm a raging homophobe, supposedly. But the thing that I want to say is that I'm not scared of homos. It's not that I'm scared of them, it's that I'm disgusted. So, what is the proper word then? Because a phobia is a fear of something, isn't it? So, how can I be a homophobe if I'm not afraid? I'm disgusted more than anything. And I don't know the proper word for that. I don't know what the word would be, but they need to make up a new one. Since we're all in the business of making new words, I think we should make a proper word for people like myself that are disgusted with their behavior. That word is base, says Super Suka. I agree. I agree. Allergic. Nina, thank you. That's a great one. I'm allergic to that. I'm allergic to freakhood. I'm allergic to freakdom. They call it queer. I call it freak. I'm allergic to freakhood. I'm allergic to freakdom. It's kind of like one of those things where I like to self-preservation, where I like to not have sexually transmitted diseases around me. I like not having that kind of that kind of that kind of filthy mentalities around young people, around children that are impressionable. I like that we can understand that this is a mental disease, a mental disorder, a hormonal imbalance. It could be as well. There's many things that it could be, or could be originating from. But I like to see things as they are. So anyway, that makes two of us. Jacob. Delich says the word phobe doesn't work in this case. I don't understand why they use that word, because every time I hear it, I'm like, no one is afraid. No, are any of you afraid of these things? Are any of you afraid? Do you get fear in your heart when you see that? Or what do you feel? Nina, tolerance doesn't exist anymore. Celebrate and worship, else get canceled and fired. So there's another thing that I wanted to bring up to you all, and I'm going to share it with you here. 1 second. I'm going to pull it up right now. I need to pull this up. I don't remember where I saw it. I'm going to look it up for you guys, because I just saw it just like not too long ago, and I want to share it with you all as well. 1 moment. Why is it not letting me? Oh, okay, I see. Now I see what I need to do. All right, I'm gonna go down. I'm looking for it because there was this video of this woman. So the reason I'm having this conversation about women is because I've been looking at a lot of our culture today in America, and I've been looking at the women. You guys know I'm always focusing on women. A lot of people call me hateful towards women, and that's not the case. I'm not hateful. I'm just, you could say, I don't sugarcoat it, I guess. Like, I see what I see, and I say what I see, and that seems hateful. A lot of people are saying that's hateful. I'm pulling this thing up. There was a woman who was cheating on her husband, and she was cheating with the pastor, but that's not the video that I wanted to give you. Okay, I found it. Here it is. All right, I am going to share my screen with you. Here we go. It's a little bit loud.
Financially confident, he tends to go for bigger women.
If I'm a guy just got out of jail and needs somewhere to stay, I'm not going to go for a woman who works out 5 days a week. I'm going to go for the bigger girl. It's more of a chance that she'll be willing to compromise.
I have never settled. I've dated NFL stars. I've dated rappers.
Have you ever found that men or women fetishize you because of your size?
Yep. Guys who have never dated a plus size girl before. Why are you starting now? I don't want to be your guinea pig. Like, well, let me try this out. And then I'm back to what I usually like. Me, you fetishizing me because you type BBW in X videos. I can usually tell.
So did you actually date them then, or did they just want you for your buttermilk biscuits? Because
Oh, okay. Now I want you guys to hear this one more time because I started it almost not halfway through, a quarter through. So I'm gonna let it play through one more time, and I want to have a quick conversation about this.
you were bigums. You're telling me your Cadillac built behind don't think you need to settle, like at all, not even a little bit. Just a little bit. Hey, but I'm down for you. If you don't want to work out, don't settle. Because I don't think no guy should have to put up with a lady thing that she don't have to work out ever.
When a man isn't financially confident, he tends to go for bigger women.
If I'm a guy just got out of jail and needs somewhere to stay, I'm not going to go for a woman who works out 5 days a week. I'm going to go for the bigger girl. It's more of a chance that she'll be willing to compromise.
I have never settled. I've dated NFL stars. I've dated rappers.
Have you ever found that men or women fetishize you because of your size?
Yep. Guys who have never dated a plus size girl before. Why are you starting now? I don't want to be your guinea pig. Like, well, let me try this out. And then I'm back to what I usually like. Me, you
Okay, that's what I wanted to speak about. So the woman said, I don't want you to fetishize me. I'm sorry, that word is kind of difficult to say. But she said, I've dated NFL stars, rappers, ball players, all of this, all of that. You've dated? So you telling me, let me get this straight. You, as a fat, overweight, sloppy-bodied woman, I'm sorry to say that, guys. She is sloppy bodied. And if any of you guys are offended by that, I'm so sorry for me to point that out. Her body is not, I looked at it. You as a woman who look the way you do, you're telling me that you dated all of these men, supposedly millionaires or high class, upper class men, but you're still sitting there on a podcast with no ring, no husband. And you're saying that you refuse to settle. Just like Nina in the chat said, when she says dated, she means that she got, as they say, ran through. Ran through means that the men used you and dropped you off at the first opportunity that they could. They used you and then called Uber for you in the morning. They used you and never called you back the next day or never answered your phone call after. And then she says, I refuse to be fetishized because I know my worth, she says. I know my worth. And I know that you're using me because you're attracted to BBW, these, what's it called? Big, beautiful women. You're attracted to big, beautiful women. So this is the way you're using me to have an experience and get off your bucket list. That's what she's saying. I want to say, as an Eastern woman, hearing Western women speak this way, in our eyes, number one, why would you be proud to tell the world that you have so-called dated so many men? Why would you be proud to ever even say that you've been with more than one man? Why would you be so excited to say that in front of the whole world? To us, that's embarrassing yourself. That's completely, you're just setting yourself up for failure for the rest of your future, because any man who sees that is not going to take you seriously. He's not going to be willing to call you his wife, because no man wants to take a whole bunch of other men's leftovers. I don't believe that any man wants to be with a woman that has gone on a podcast and said, I've been with NFL stars, I've been with rappers, I've been with everyone, and I refuse to settle. You're not making a good... A wife is a wife before she's married. I've said this before, you guys. I don't know if you guys heard me say this. A wife is a wife before she's married. She did not turn into a wife the moment that she said, I do, at the altar. She was already a wife. Did in the Bible, I'm not even Christian, but even in the Bible it says, he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. You don't you have to find a wife. You don't find a woman and then make her your wife. You find a wife, a woman who is already prepared for wifehood, if you can do wifehood. I'll use that word. A woman who's already prepared for wifehood. She's been trained to be a wife. She already acts like a wife. She dresses like a wife. She speaks like a wife. She behaves like a wife. She is a wife, and that's why you marry her, because she's already a wife. You don't need to get her and then mold her, teach her, erase her past, do all of these other things. With this woman, I tell you. So she said, well, I'm not going to be fetishized. Why, as a woman, would you, like I said, as an Eastern woman, you see a woman doing that, number one, you embarrassed yourself. You're setting yourself a failure for the future. No man who's going to look at that video is going to take you seriously, like I said. The second thing is, you are basically telling the world that you believe that you deserve something so much more. That you're saying, I've dated ball players, what is it called? Let's just say NFL, whatever have you. You're basically telling the world that that is a standard that you believe is your standard, that you want to stay there because you won't settle. You said you won't settle. So what does that mean for everyone else? What does that mean for men that can actually love you for who you really are when you yourself are going after superficial things? You don't want men to see you for your fetishization or fetishize you, but you're already fetishizing the men's money. You're already fetishizing the men by how much money they make or their status in society, right? I don't know. I just see something so wrong when I see these women's, and it's like, it makes it so easy for the men to emulate us. Just like that man in the first video that I showed you, a man wearing a wig and lipstick. It makes it so much easier for men to emulate women when womanhood is so superficial. If men see women that we're so superficial like that all we are is makeup, hair, and wigs and what have you, they're gonna look at us and say, well, it's easy to emulate them. I believe that the women of the past, the women, and I could be wrong because we always glamorize the past, but it doesn't mean that the past was great, but we glamorize it because what we have today. Let's just be real. But I believe that women of the past, I want to say like 1920s, 1930s, these were women unapologetically, right? They were just women, they just were. And I believe that that is the harder thing to emulate than what we have today. I think it's easier for a man to look like a woman today than ever before. If a man were to try to look like a woman back in the 1920s or 1930s, it would be a lot harder because women had a different standard of femininity. Women did not use a bunch of makeup and hair and everything to make themselves feminine or to make themselves women. They used their voice. They used their behavior, their mannerisms. That's what made a woman back then. Like, that's what made her feminine. She was feminine. And today's definition of feminine, a lot of us women have it wrong. We're always like, feminine means you wear dresses and heels. Feminine means you wear the nails and you have the hair, and all of this has to be in the makeup. So a lot of men are looking today and thinking, well, if that's what femininity is, it's easy for me to emulate the woman. And now they feel like they can come into womanhood and tell us women that we are not owners of womanhood. It's trash already trash. Hi, Keela. He says they use their femininity gleefully. Don't you see the difference? Don't you see the difference? The difference was us today, femininity is like, you see a woman who is girly, as you can see, girly, she does the makeup, she does the hair, she does all of this. Back then, from what I see, I could be wrong because I didn't live in the 1920s, but what I saw back then was that women weren't using makeup to be feminine. They were using their voices. The women having soft voices or having a voice of a certain tone, that's what made her feminine. She didn't need all the makeup to do it. She used her voice. She used her mannerisms. She used the way she walked, the way she spoke, the way she behaved, in public, the way she behaved with men, around men. when I see today, I see women. I have another video for you. I have another video for you. Let me pull this one up. Now, you guys, and I'm sorry that it's always Black people, but the thing is, a lot of the videos that I see that are so here. Let me talk to you guys about this really quickly. I'm sorry that it's always Black people when I pull up these videos, but the problem is the reason it's always Black is because I've noticed that other races do not record themselves as much as Black people do. Asians do too, but Asians don't record the bad of them. They always record the good because they don't want to be seen as bad. But when I see bad behavior, I've noticed that bad behavior, Black people always record the bad behavior. And that's how it's easy to find it. So I'm sorry that it's always Black people's. It's not that I'm trying to be racist, but these are the videos that are there. And they're out and we see them. And this is why I tell, even on the Lapeef network, I used to tell them, like, what you're trying to tell me is there's a word for it, but I'm not getting the word right now. But whatever the Black people were trying to tell me, that, oh, this isn't true, that Black people are like this is the media portrayal, this is the movies, the Hollywood. I'm like, don't lie to me. I have eyes. I see with my own eyes this stuff. Don't tell me that this is media portrayal. But anyway, okay, I want to show. Stop. Okay. Yeah, well, Nina, thank you. That's to say, attention hoeing is a thing, and that's why I say I don't understand how many women, especially Black women, record the bad in their life. Why do you record all the bad and post it for the world to see? Why would you do that? That makes absolutely no sense to Middle Easterners. Middle Easterners won't even go outside. We won't even go outside. We don't even talk. But online, I see this a lot, and this is why I want to show you this video. And it's kind of a bad video, but you guys are down for whatever, right? All right, here we go. I'm looking for it now. Okay. I watch way too many videos. See, that's my problem. That's my problem. I watch way too many videos. But every time I watch the videos, I always have you guys in mind, because I'm like, if I have these videos, I can share them with my pride. I can share it with you guys anyway. So, I mean, I'm always happy to see something crazy or something bothersome. I think I'm getting close to it now. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting one step closer. Oof. Yep, I am getting closer. Oh, no, not that one. There's so many people fighting online too. This woman is actually saying something, but I don't remember what she was saying. Okay, here we go. I'll share this one with you guys. Here, all right, I'm sharing it now. You guys have so much patience with me. I appreciate it. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna let you men in on a little secret, ladies. Don't kill me for this, but women hate for a man to know his worth. I said it, yeah. We don't like that shit. Nigga come around thinking he know his worth. Oh, he too good for this, he too good for that. A man that know his worth ain't gonna let us play with him. And I don't like that. Me personally, I don't like that. Nigga, I need you to come around not knowing shit.
Okay, so without all of the cursing, you guys pretty much understood what she said. That women don't like when a man knows his worth, or when a man has a standard, when he has standards and he has rules and he has things that will not be permitted, or when he has things that he will actually tell you, you will not do this with me. You will not go there like that. You will not go to this trip. If you want to be in this house or with me and this relationship, if you want to be even around me, you're going to behave a certain way. And it's true. I've noticed that here in this country, a lot of women, they couldn't handle being with an Eastern man. And I men, you guys here, the men who are here, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to say anything about Western men. I'm not trying to say anything bad about Western men. But I just want to be honest with you. Me as an Easterner, we know certain things that what Western women don't know or were never taught. And it's almost a sad thing to see that in the West, women aren't taught their value either. When I say value, I don't mean, oh, because I'm woman, hear me roar. I don't mean that. What I'm talking about is I've noticed that in America, I want to say virginity, chastity, keeping yourself clean, keeping yourself valuable. And women hate to hear that their value lies in their pants, or that their value lies in what's between their legs. It's not so much what's between your legs. It's men have ego. Men need, how can I say? It's not even just about ego. It's more like no man wants to be embarrassed by his woman, because if a woman has been with so many men, eventually, that man is going to meet somebody out in the future that has been with you. And you don't know if that man's going to tell him, or even that man would just notice how a man is looking at his wife. He's going to notice that and say, they have history. It's embarrassing for a man. No man wants to deal with that type of embarrassment. And women, Western women, I've noticed that they were never taught their value. Their mothers never taught them the value of their virginity. They never taught them that your beauty, part of the beauty of a woman is her softness, purity, innocence. That's one of the beautiful things about femininity. And I've seen that in the West, that value has gone down so much, and it's turned into, your value is not your purity, innocence, or chastity. Your value now is in how well you're able to compete with a man. If you're able to do the same job or equal to him or something like that, but never in like actual fields like construction, plumbing, electrician, oil fields, never in something like that, of course, only like in the office setting. Women weren't taught that. In the East, it's extreme. Did you guys know something? I'll share some small story with you guys, and some of you guys might cry. Some of the girls, if the girls are in the chat, some of you girls might cry when you hear this. But in many countries in the Middle East, I want to say Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, all of the Stan countries and so on, these countries, it's so strict about the chastity and virginity of a woman that if you live in a small village, the moment that your daughter gets married, the family, the in-laws will, and the girl's parents, the night of the marriage, they all celebrate. They put this crisp white sheet on the bed. They wrap it tight around the bed, but this sheet has been bleached to the heavens. This sheet, you can't get a piece of lint on it without knowing. They put this beautiful white crisp sheet on the bed, the marital bed, and after the deed is done, because it's supposed to happen the first night of the marriage, after that happens, the family the next morning will take the sheet and hang it outside of their home. They will take that sheet with a blood stain, show it to the neighbors proudly, like, look, for all the naysayers, my daughter was clean, she was pure, she was this, she was that. Why in the F, I'm not going to say the word, but why in the F would anyone do that to their daughter? I understand the culture, I understand the reasoning behind it, but at the same time, you having to prove to the neighborhood or to your village that your daughter was pure and clean, I mean, just the such high importance is put on that if a woman does not bleed on the night of her marriage, it is a divorce sentence. It could be even a death sentence, because not every woman bleeds on her first night. Not every woman will will shed blood from losing her virginity. I mean, it's not mandated to do that. It's just something that, so if the woman does not bleed and she was pure, she was sexually pure, then it's such a huge deal. There have been, because the family was not able to go out and put the sheet outside and show the village and show the world that their daughter was pure. It's just keeping up the appearances and all of that. Do you know what I mean? So for, in our cases, there's an extreme, right? So in the West, it's an extreme of not caring about the chastity, not caring about purity. And on our case, on the East, it's an extreme of, it gets really extreme to the point where it's, you know what I mean? So I just want us to find a balance from my culture to your culture, you as Westerners, me as an Easterner, where we can find a balance between meritocracy, you could say, and keeping your innocence and purity as a woman. I don't know. There needs to be a balance somehow. Suka says she could cut her hand or something. Well, but the problem is that I've heard of this happening where the woman did not shed blood. And the husbands, it depends on the husband. Some husbands will refuse the woman after that. If she didn't shed blood, he believes that maybe she is lying to him, and there will always be doubt later. You know what I mean? There's some men who will always doubt you after and say, at the moment, they might say, oh, it's okay, honey, I understand. But they might keep it in the back of their heads like, should I really be trusting you? You lied. You said that you were and you weren't. And then there's other cases where the men would just outright divorce you. The moment of the moment, they'll just say, no, I refuse to take your daughter. And that's a crazy thing to do, because now you've actually had sex with a person's daughter and then you're going to divorce her. That means that girl is never going to get married again. So it's such a bad situation that happens on the extreme side of that. The other thing is that so there is people who will bring like little vials and just like throw blood on the sheet or something like that just to make it seem like what have you. It's obsessive. It's really obsessive, guys. I know. Yeah, Fix should know she's Afghani. In Afghanistan, it gets like that too. Like pretty much all of the Stan countries, it's like that. It's a huge deal. If the girl is not virgin the night of the night, it's such a big deal. It could ruin her life. That's why women are so nervous the day of the day. And there are some women, now this is another thing that some people don't think about. There are some women that bleed even if they are not virgin. Some women bleed because maybe they haven't had intercourse in a long time. It could happen where a woman bleeds and you think, oh, I thought you were not a virgin and you're bleeding. So it's like this obsession over if a woman bleeds or not is like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But like I said, we're on the extreme, and that's an extreme. And then I see over here in the West where it's extreme the other way. There's no care. I don't see any mothers in the West sitting down, talking to their daughters and telling their daughter, honey, I mean, I've seen some Mormon families do it and some Orthodox Christian families, they try, but it never really works, because once the girl turns 16, she just goes out and prom night, whatever. Usually girls lose their virginity on the prom, whatever it was, lose their virginity on prom night. I'm sorry. But I've never really seen Westerners make this mandatory, where we're not going to have you in our home having intercourse with boys and not being married. You're not going to do that until the day where you get married. I don't see Western families doing that with the women, with the girls. And I think that's I think that's an issue of not having strong fathers in the house. And, a lot of you guys might disagree with me, but I think that's what it is. I think it's a problem of not having strong fathers or having fathers that will, because fathers, I believe, naturally know that they need to do this. They need to tell their daughter this. But I think it's the women who are like more lenient and like, oh, honey, she's in love. She just, let her have her first boyfriend and let her do this. No, no, no. What she need a boyfriend for? What she need this for? What is she going to gain out of that? She's not going to gain anything but possible, actually, more likely than not, heartbreak, relationship trauma, breakups. These are not things that are going to make her a good wife. So why are we even letting the women? This is a problem of the West. The West is so lenient with the women, from what I've seen. Neil, he says, sad but true. We live in a society where, quote unquote, off like a prom dress is a saying. What? Off like a prom dress? That's a saying? I didn't know that. Wow. Zealage. No, I agree with that. Both parents play important roles. Without one or the other causes imbalance. I wouldn't even go that far. I'm not going to go that far with you. I would, Zealage. I would. It all sounds, nice and fun when you say it, because it does sound like a nice thing to say. But to be honest, I believe that men make more stable parents than women. I believe that a man can do 70% by himself better than a woman could do it. It's actually been proven that men make better single parents than women. Women bring, random men around their children, around daughters that end up being sexualized, around their sons that the boys never even accept the new stepfather. Many times they don't accept the new stepfather and they just want to challenge him unless they had him from very young. But even then, it could create problems. It's been proven that men are better single fathers than women as single mothers. So I know what you're saying, that people play important roles, that without one or the other causes imbalance. I think there's already an imbalance, because I believe that men bring more to the table when it comes to parenting than women. And I've actually sat and thought about this. You guys can disagree with me, and I'd love to hear your disagreements. I will put the chat back into the. I'll put the link back into the chat in a minute. If you disagree with me, I want to hear your opinion. But what I was going to say is that I believe that God, I was gonna say it. Now I messed up because I started reading. Anyway, I believe all in all, men make better single parents than women make single parents. It's been proven because, now I found it. I remembered it now. The reason was, I sat and I thought about this reasoning. Why do men make better single parents than mothers? I said that the reason was because men are better at training than women are. If you've noticed, men are better at training animals, even animals, better than women are. A man could take a dog and turn that dog into his best friend, and women, we are capable, but I've seen less women being capable of properly training a dog than men. I believe men are more capable of training. Now, I know you're saying that, kids aren't pets, kids aren't dogs. I know that. But the whole training aspect and having the patience and so on, I think that men are more level-headed than women when it comes to children. I've seen women flip out on their children because women can get hormonal, they get their periods, they just flip out. I haven't seen that too much from men. I've seen men get upset, but I have not seen men just wail out and punch their kids in the face, or losing their temper all the time on kids. Yes, yes, yes. I know what some of you guys are gonna say. My father yelled at me every day. That's it happens. Everybody has it, but I believe that women are more prone to being emotionally unstable than men with children. Dr. M. A kid is just a pet that you can't put in a cage when they're being annoying. Well, up until a certain age, kids are just like pets, right? Up until a certain age. Neil, Zealage, Italy, Greece, Russia, Spain, go back another 100 or 200 years, and it was a practice in virtually all Christian countries. Oh, I'm assuming that you're talking about virginity and so on. Richel says, no wonder men left us and go overseas. We need to do better. Richel, people weren't ready. Don't do that without a warning. Don't do that without a trigger warning. Goodness. So the fight that I got in with the passport bros, when you know what you're talking about, the fight that I got in with the passport bros is that the majority of them are not actually marrying the women when they go overseas. They're actually just going there, banging women, and coming back to the States without wives. When I believed that the whole idea about passport bros was to go abroad and get a wife and bring her home. So this is why I got into it with the passport bros, because they said, Amira, who are you telling us what to do? If we want to go there and enjoy and come back, there's nothing wrong with that. And I said, of course not. But don't try to make it seem like you're doing something so noble and great when the truth is all you're doing is practicing sex tourism. And there's nothing new under the sky with sex tourism. Because what I've noticed is that these men, Richelle, are mostly going to countries where sex is, fast and fluid everywhere. Where sex is common and easy to get. Countries like Brazil, countries like Colombia, Puerto Rico, Thailand, Philippines. These aren't the most chaste women in the world, okay? You don't see the passport bros going to Turkmenistan to go find a wife. You don't think that there's women there who are proper wives, who are trained to be wives? There are. But I don't see the passport bros going to, Uzbekistan to get their wife. I don't see that. And there are plenty of beautiful, beautiful, chaste, sweet, hardworking, just do anything for you, loyal women in all of these countries. Azerbaijan being one of the countries that I believe has the most beautiful women in the world. Because Azerbaijan is like a Eurasian country where they're like half Asian, half European. So they kind of have a look of like an Arab mixed with a Russian, mixed with an Asian, like an Eastern Asian, like a Chinese, you could say, a Japanese. So they have like this mix that looks like an Arab, a Chinese person, and a Russian got together, blended their genes, and boom, Azerbaijani. That's why I believe these are some of the most beautiful women in the world. They're called Eurasians, but anyway. But you don't see the passport bros going to those countries, Rochelle. You see them going to Brazil, Thailand, Philippines. So, interesting mix. Oh, Google it. Google it. Google Azerbaijani, Miss Azerbaijan. Google Miss Azerbaijan any year. Doesn't matter any year. Just see those women and what they look like. And then tell me you can't find a woman that you could be attracted to enough to call your wife over there. People think Brazil has the most beautiful women. No. Brazil has the most mixed women, you could say, but no, they're not the most beautiful. Oh, I don't know what you're saying, Barbara. I don't know. You're saying it's still the U.S. I don't know where. I'm not sure who you're responding to. Dr. M says, I appreciate that you've even handed with this. You criticize women for their promiscuity, but you're criticizing the passport bros equally. I respect when people are consistent with their values. Well, I got attacked, Dr. M, for doing this because I'm known as a men's rights activist, you could say, online. People know me, Amira, as the woman hater. So the moment that I gave any criticism to the passport bros, they started calling me a chameleon. They started saying that my true colors were coming out. Oh, now that Amira has her success, now she's a chameleon and everything, her true colors are coming out. But I responded to them with this. You're talking to me as a conservative, religious woman. I'm a conservative Muslim girl. How would you think that I would support sex tourism that doesn't have a basis in marriage Nobody's going there to get married. Why would you think that I would support that as a conservative Muslim woman who demands traditional values, who commands traditional values? Wouldn't that be hypocritical of me? All just so I can support men, and so that I don't say anything mean to the men. I'm like, that would be hypocritical of me. But no men care about that hypocrisy, because they're like, as long as she's supporting us, then she's good. If she supports us, then she's good. And I'm like, no, 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 no. The conservative values will never go away with me. I'm still conservative. It doesn't matter, whatever, if I'm not supporting men or if I am, I'm conservative. 3G, stop it. You're so sweet. That's sweet of you. And they don't live in the favelas. Oh, man. Dealer says, I just looked and I can see the appeal. Telling you, they are wonderful, wonderful girls. You said Puerto Rico as a separate country. No, I'm saying they're going to places. I named Puerto Rico as part of the list, but Puerto Rico, okay, it's a territory. Okay, that's fine. What were you saying? I saw something. Primo, he says some of the thickest ones are in Brazil. Guys, get off of this obsession. Eventually, being thin and skinny is going to be back in style. Then what? You guys see Kim Kardashian already started losing weight because being thick is getting out of style now. Thin and skinny is coming back. Hip bone showing is coming back. Maybe I'll take a business trip to Lebanon and find a wife there. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. I wish you the best. Super Zuka says, dang, I just looked at them. Most people don't, and the thing is, most Westerners don't even know about countries like that. They don't even know those countries exist. Westerners don't even know. There's a lot of Westerners that think that Georgia is just a state in the U.S. They think that Georgia is just a state in America. Like, I know people where I'm like, my friend is from Georgia. They're like, oh, really? Atlanta? I'm like, no, she's Georgian. She's like, oh, so which part? The northern part or southern part of Georgia? Like close to this part or close to, and I'm like, no, Georgia, the country. They're like, Georgia's not a country, honey. I'm like, you guys are funny, Americans. Oh, and that Turkey, well, this has to be people who don't know anything about the world, but people not knowing that Turkey is a country. And even when I tell them that Turkey is a country, they'll say, yeah, I heard of it. I thought it was a funny name for a country, Turkey. Why would they name a country after an animal? The country is not named after an animal. It's named after the Turks, but it's all right. And a lot of people don't know anything about that area of the world, you could say. It's just mysterious to Westerners mostly, but Primal says, it might be out of style, but I'm still going to be interested in dim yams. What? Squash? What? Real ones, not the plastic surgery nonsense. Dem yams? Is that Democratic yams? What? Democrat. It's okay. I'll figure it out later. Whatever you guys translate, I don't know what you're saying. Hi, Lou. Hi, Lou. Lou says, men also must prepare for a huge cultural difference when going to those very conservative countries. You're right. But isn't that what men are saying that they want, Lou? Because if men here are saying that they want tradition, they want traditional women who have grown up with the traditional ideas in their core, why would you go to another liberal country to find tradition? Why would you go to a country that, you know what I mean? if that's what you really want, if that's what your conservative American heart is craving, tradition, and you want a woman who's been, had that beaten into her head that this is tradition, you're gonna follow it, you're not gonna what's it called, deviate from it. You can't find that in Brazil. You can't find that in Bangkok. You can't find that in the Philippines. Well, actually, the Philippines, maybe if you go into the villages, maybe. But you're definitely not going to find it in Brazil or Thailand. So, what you say, Lou? She says, they say that, but they are truly, oh, but are they truly prepared for the differences? Well, it's a learning experience, and I think that it will be a lot easier on a man who doesn't understand the traditions than how it is for women. See, Eastern men marrying Western women, taking home a Western woman to an Eastern family that is strict, that it's harder. I believe it's a lot harder because women, the Western women rebel. They talk back. They talk with a tone that is not accepted in our houses, in Islamic, in Orthodox Christian, in Eastern European, in Middle Eastern cultures. There's certain tones of voices that women are not allowed to have. You can only have only a certain decimal of voice, of bass in your voice. You can't have too much bass in your voice. You can't speak a certain way because, yeah, it just won't work out well. The Western women tend to, just like that woman in Dubai, Lou. I mean, you saw how she was acting. I mean, you think that Easterners are used to seeing women act that way? You think that was something normal? Those people probably went home. They're still talking about it today because they've probably never seen that before, except maybe on the TV or on the YouTube. The Western women, there's just certain things that they believe is their right, their inherent right. You see women, I know my rights. This is my inherent right to say what I want to say and do and shut up, woman. He just hit me. Like, he didn't hit you. He checked you. Shh, quiet. No. Super Suka says boot camp for women. Really? Literally. No. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Primal says if they want traditional women, they also must look into the something to make sure that they are traditional men capable of leading the household. Grammar is your friend, Primal One. Grammar. I don't understand half of what you say, Primal, but I think I get what you're saying this time. You're saying if they want traditional women, they need to look into the culture to make sure that they are traditional men capable of leading the household. I believe that's what you were trying to say. I want to say that, but I've seen way too many men who grew up in traditional households who don't live the very traditional way, but they still lead a traditional household. Like they rebel against the traditions, like maybe they don't pray, maybe they wear certain clothing that's not traditional. They wear like, the baseball caps that a lot of men in the United States wear. A lot of men wear those baseball caps or, sneakers. We call it trainers, but they wear those sneakers and, certain clothing styles that aren't traditional. Some of them may smoke cigarettes, not supposed to. Some of them may drink and they're not supposed to. Some of them may go to clubs and they're not supposed to. But they're still able to lead a traditional household because if they marry the right woman, the woman is the head of the culture. The woman is the one who passes down the culture to the children more than anyone. So as long as the woman is traditional, they can still lead a traditional household together as long as he's not, as I would say, as long as he keeps the core values, as in like, keep the core values of making sure that, you know, that there's still respect in the house. There's always respect. There's respect for the religion, whatever religion you follow, whether it's Orthodox Christian or Muslim, what have you. Those kind of things you cannot falter on. You can't falter, especially if you want to be a traditional person or traditionalist. Those things you can't falter on because those are the things that kind of keep everything together. I don't know. You guys may disagree with that with me on that, but that's what I see. There's certain things that you cannot, they're non-negotiables. You can't say I'm leading a traditional household, but the respect is lacking, or you let your woman speak to you a certain way, or the children speak to you a certain way, or the children speak to the mother a certain way. There has to be respect in the household, right? There has to be that respect. There has to be respect for the tradition, as in, if we do something once a week, that thing is done every week. Does that make sense? Because I'm just giving you guys how we live, and this is my household that I'm talking about now. In my household, we do things a certain way, and I'm going to share some of them with you, and I'm going to put the link into the chat. So whoever wants to come and chat with me, I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. Here it is for you. There you go. Okay, the link is in the chat. Now, I'm going to share something with you guys from my family, and I want to hear if you guys have the same thing that I have, if you guys live traditional or if you don't. Here we go. The things in my household that never falter, that never change. These are the traditions. Women, when we are in the house, I'm in the guest house right now, so I can wear what I want. But when we are in the main house, all women are to wear, we're all supposed to dress modestly. We don't have our breasts out, we can't have our legs out. All of us are wearing skirts or dresses. Skirts or dresses. There's no negotiable on that. This is a tradition in our household. Even if we have guests come over, if they're staying over for some time, like, a week or so, they will wear skirts and dresses as women. You will not walk around our house in tight pants. You will not have low-cut shirts. You will not even show your arms, because we believe that if you show anything above here, that it is vulgar. We also cover our heads. We also wear, we call it casinca, but we wear a head wrap around our heads when we're cleaning and cooking. Cleaning and cooking. That means when the women are at work, when they're cleaning, cooking, and doing women work, we put the thing around our head. That is tradition, and we never falter from it because we are taught that is what you do. Another tradition is that men do not clean. Men do not clean. They do not wash dishes. They do not clean. Women are the ones who do all of the cleaning. This is a tradition. This is something that never falters. We don't change it. My husband wakes up in the morning. He drinks his tea. He has his bagels or his cookies or whatever he likes to eat because he's getting fat. But he loves it. He gets up and eats his breakfast that he likes, and he leaves all the trash on the table. And he goes to work. Whose job is it to take care of that? I come downstairs, I see, I clean, I eat my breakfast, and then I clean up after myself as well, and the children. Another tradition, we have the Quran playing at night. So when everybody goes to sleep, the Quran is playing throughout the house. Not loudly, not super loud, but like a hum. It's a humming that goes to the house, and it vibrates the house during the night. And it helps all of us sleep. This is our tradition. And most of our families who come from our countries do it too. This is something that is not just in my house. If I go to my Turkish neighbors' houses or my Arab neighbors' houses, they all do the same thing. And guess what? We've never even spoken to each other before, but we're all doing the same thing. Why? Because this is tradition. It's culture. And we understand that. We understand this is what we do. Shoes are never to be worn inside of the house. Everybody knows that. Shoes are definitely a no-no because our homes are places of prayer. Our homes are treated like church, as you guys call it, but our homes are treated like church. You are to be respectful, you're supposed to be modestly dressed, and you are supposed to be clean, just like you would be if you were going to the temple, as you'll be if you're going to the synagogue, if you're going to the mosque. Church. Treat it like a church. Our houses are cleaned every morning. Every morning the women wake up and clean the house. top to bottom. There's no negotiation. There's no, oh, we clean the house on Sundays, or oh, we clean the house on, days when. No, we clean every day. We mop every day. We vacuum every day. Every day. These traditions. We don't falter. Women, during our weddings, maybe I should show you guys this. I will show you guys, but you guys might feel weird if I show you. But women, we bow to our husbands, and in our weddings, we bow to the husband. We're supposed to, like, just in his presence, we bow. But it's tradition. You said in cooking? Yeah, cook every day, of course. I mean, how else are we going to eat? What? You think we're going to order takeout? No, that's not what we do. We cook every day. I think some Sundays, though, the men do give us a break, because the Sundays are like, they want to take us out, or, pardon. On Sundays, the men typically want to take us out, or they want to do something, or go to the movies or something. So those days we don't have to cook, and we're not, if we cut our hair, we only cut our hair on Fridays. We're not allowed to cut our hair on different days of the week. Women or men, we cut our hair on Fridays. Friday is a hair cutting day. And most of us are not really allowed to cut more than like a few inches at a time. Tradition. It is what it is. We have a lot more, but I don't know where you guys want to go with that one. I mean, do you mop the carpet? Stop. Seal It says, what about sounds from appliances at night, like fans? Yeah, we do fans. We do fans as well. We do fans. We do Quran. We even do talking, like, videos of talking. We'll do that, podcast, whatever, but the Quran is always playing. Very interesting. So if you wake up, you can listen to it and fall asleep. Correct. And it's not music, and it's not singing per se. It's like a hum. If you guys ever heard the Quran, like people reciting the Quran, it's like a humming. It's like a hum, and it's like a vibration that goes through the house. This is why we do that, and we do it to the children from the moment that they're born. We put that around them, so that hum, they get used to it, and then when they hear it, they fall asleep. It makes it easy to put the kids to sleep. What are you guys talking about? Service says, I've seen a high value virgin. What is that? Another man got to her before I could. What are you talking about? Oh, a high value. Dress and hijab minimum. It's not a hijab. It's not a hijab that we wear. We call it kasinka, and we just put it, like, we have the edges of our hair showing, and then we just wrap the rest of our hair back. Like, you guys, yeah, I think I worn it before. Yeah. And we bake bread. We bake bread pretty much twice a week. It doesn't matter the day, though, for the bread, but we bake bread twice a week. And there's another ritual for baking bread as well. There's certain rituals that we do for bread. I mean, we're not allowed to throw bread away. There's another tradition. We're not allowed to throw bread away. You can't dispose of bread in the trash can. When we have old bread, let's say the bread is molding, you didn't finish the bread, the loaf, or what have you. The bread is molding. You can't throw it in the trash. What do you do with it? I'm going to ask you guys. What do you guys think that we do with the bread? No dirty answers. Have some respect. Show some respect. But what do you guys think that we do with the bread? I'm going to listen to your guys' answers. If you can't throw the bread away, you can't dispose of it in the garbage, what do you do with old bread? Burn the bread? That's an idea. The hum is interesting. Yeah, you check it out. Just put on YouTube a recitation of the Quran. You'll hear it, and it's You'll hear the humming. It's kind of like a hum, but yeah, you'll understand. Somebody said, you guys said burn it. Zealot says birds. Another says squirrels. Larry says make pudding. Primal says feed it to the animals. 3G says sell it. Croutons. Bury it. That's a good one. That's a good one. Feed to the cockroach. Give to the cockroach. Okay. Most of you guys, well, actually, I want to say 3 or 4 of you guys actually got it. We give it to the animals. We put it outside. We give it to whatever animal will eat it, birds, ducks, squirrels, what have you. We put it outside and we give it to, I mean, honestly, even if no animal eats it, it's outside and it's in the grass. We don't put it in the garbage because we believe that that's disrespectful. It's very disrespectful to throw away bread like that, because bread is seen as, like, one of the founding foods of humans, and we don't believe in disposing of it in such a disrespectful way. We believe that it's a blessing to have it and we shouldn't be treating it that way. We don't throw it away in the garbage. Yeah, exactly. The microbes and plants will eat it if the animals don't. So that's what we do. Bread is not to be thrown away in the trash. Other traditions? I think I've already talked to you guys about bathroom habits, right? We use the bathroom differently than Westerners. And I don't know if that's tradition or it's just culture. I don't know. You could say culture, habits, but we use the bathroom differently. A lot of our traditions brings us a lot of fortune, though. If you've noticed, Arabs, Muslims, we do well financially. And it's because of our traditions that brings us wealth. And I think a lot of people, maybe, because a lot of people look at Arabs and they're like, oh, all these guys are so rich. And it's like, it's not really rich, but it's more of our traditions and the things that we do brings us good fortune. The things that you do brings, I don't want to sound like one of those people who's like manifest energy. No, it's not like that. It's not like manifest energy. It's more like putting certain things around you that are intentional and keeping those things as habits will bring stability in your life and focus for your brain, I guess you could say. Having discipline, you could say discipline or order, a way you do things that don't falter and the whole family follows it. It creates a peace of sorts because the family doesn't feel lost. They don't feel like they're going without guidance. The father, the men of the family, order it to be so, and the women enforce it. That's how it is. The man orders it, the women enforce it. And the women enforce it relentlessly. I mean, you can't be around our houses without feeling that. So, tradition. And that's why I say when a lot of the American men saying that they want traditional women, they want these traditional women and so on, but they go to Brazil because the women seem more feminine. They're like, oh, the women are more feminine there. I would imagine so. I'm sure they're more feminine than Western women. But traditions are hard. They are hard and strenuous and so beneficial. But most people don't know it because once you live it, then you're like, it's hard. I want to rebel. I want to do my own thing. I don't want to be told what to do. I sometimes wonder all of the Western women who say that they're traditionalists. I wonder what they mean by that. Do they just mean that they're traditional in that they believe in gender roles? Because if you ask a Western woman, are you traditional or are you a modern woman? A lot of them will say, I'm traditional. What do you mean by you're traditional? Most of them will say, I believe in gender roles. I believe that the man is the head of the family. That's all fine and dandy. But traditions, if you can list your traditions that you guys do without falter, that's a good thing. I mean, If you're not able to do that, I wouldn't say that you're a traditionalist. I don't believe that you're really traditional. You should be able to list the traditions that you guys have. Who orders them so? Who enforces it? How often is it done? Why is it done? Will you continue to uphold it? Yeah. Anyway, so I think I have spoken enough. I think I have talked your guys' ears out. Keela says I get it now. I don't want to talk off your guys' ear. I don't want to talk off your ear, but take the food. Oh, you said the food and the bad. I think you mean the good and the bad. Yeah, take the good and the bad with it. Yeah, yeah. I've thought about this so many times growing up too. Like, I get tired of my traditions. I get tired and I'm like, why do we do this? It's so unnecessary. Why can't I just rest? Why can't my husband clean a dish or two every now and again? Well, he dirties them. Why can't he clean one every now and again? When I go to American houses, you know, let's be real. American houses, we see them as not very clean. We see American houses as not being very clean because Americans are a little bit more messy naturally, I believe, than us. But when I go to Western houses or American houses, I will see dishes in the sink, and the wife doesn't feel like it's her duty to take care of it. She's like, well, if my husband is downstairs, he'll do it. I'll do it if I remember, or if I have a moment, or if I feel like it. If I don't do it, he'll do it. If not, we'll get the kids to do it. And for us, it's like, for us, that's insanity. We're like, why is this so chaotic? Why is there not an order to this? There should be, because while everybody's sitting there saying, he'll do it, or I'll do it if I feel like it, or if I remember, while everybody's doing that, the dishes are still sitting there. The dishes have been sitting there for day one, day two, and everybody's like, well, they'll do it. And if they don't do it, then I'll do it maybe if I feel like it, or if I have time, if I remember. I don't know. I don't know. But I know you guys will say, that's not true. That's not how it is. I'm just telling you guys my experiences. You don't have to agree. But Etri says, oof, there are never any dishes in our sink here, and I'm American. See? I knew it. I knew somebody was going to be like, I get it. I get it. But like I said, I'm giving you my experience. And my experience going to Western houses, you know? Or they run out of dishes, says boy. They just start using paper and saying, you know what? Screw it. We're using paper dishes now. We're using paper. Filthy Americans. You filthy Americans. I love it. Sakila says, I was thinking about where the phrase tickle me pink came from. You sound like Will in here. Is Will here with the name Keela somehow? Will, is that you? It came from the duvet. That's what I mean. What? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. The ducks are the breadwinner. Literally. The ducks love us. They love us. You know, anytime we have extra, they are there just waiting for it. But that's also how humans become more friendly with the animals around them too. That's another good thing about our families too, in that tradition. We become friendly with the crows and the ducks and the squirrels and everybody. They love coming to our home. They just hang out around our houses because of that too. And Dr. M says the dishes talk is making me feel called out. I'm calling you out, Dr. M. Get to it. Get to the kitchen. Oh, guys. Well, Neil says, I find it more efficient to wash dishes before you use them. That way you only spend time and effort on the dishes you actually need. What? I don't understand that. What do you mean? Wash dishes before you use them? Well, you're gonna have to wash them again after you use them, right? What? Anyway, well, guys, I'll let you guys go. It's been almost 2 hours, and it is not the weekend, so I know you guys have work tomorrow. We all have stuff to do tomorrow. So I'll let you guys go. I will talk to you guys on Saturday. I'll be back on Saturday, and I'll probably be in the new house on Saturday, not in this guest house, because I no longer stream from the inside of this house. I always come here to the guest house to stream with you guys, but now in the new house, I'll be able to stream from the regular home, if that makes any sense. But anyway, I will see you guys on Saturday, and I think with that, I'll yield my time. Also, I still need to talk to you guys about the sound of freedom. We keep almost getting there, and then I keep forgetting. So yes, we will do it. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. I'm leaving you again. I have to. I can't stay with you guys all the time. You know. Thank you, Dr. M. Have a great week, everybody. I will see you guys on the next one. And with that, I yield my time. Good night.